A few years ago, I treated a 70-year-old man whose blood pressure simply would not come down. He was taking his medication every morning. He walked every day. He didn't smoke. He barely drank alcohol. And he kept telling me, "Doctor, I don't understand. I'm doing everything right. Why is my blood pressure still high?" And this had been going on for years. I see this situation all the time, especially in people over 60. They take their medication, they try to eat better, they try to walk more, and still their blood pressure stays high. And after a while, they start to think this is just aging, that nothing can be done, that this is just how life is now. But very often, the problem is not only in the body and it is not only in the medication. Very often, the problem is in the kitchen. So one day, I asked him a question he did not expect. I asked him to tell me everything he ate in a normal day, not just dinner, everything: breakfast, snacks, drinks, sauces, cooking oils, everything that passed through his kitchen. A week later, he came back with a small notebook and we went through it line by line. And what we found surprised him. It was not fast food. It was not junk food. It was normal food, food that most people have in their kitchen every single day, food that people think is harmless, food that people think is normal. But those foods were quietly raising his blood pressure every day, slowly, silently, meal after meal, year after year. And this is something I see again and again. People are looking for the right pill, but they are ignoring the wrong food. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 silent killers that may be sitting in your kitchen right now, raising your blood pressure without you even realizing it. Now, before we talk about those foods, you need to understand something important about blood pressure. Most people think high blood pressure is only about salt, stress, or genetics. But for many people over 60, blood pressure is strongly influenced by what they eat every single day, not once a month, every single day. I have been a cardiac surgeon for more than 25 years. I have seen arteries that look 20 years older than the person they belong to. And very often, the problem did not start in the hospital. It did not start in the pharmacy. It started at the dinner table. It started in the kitchen. People think heart disease starts suddenly, but it doesn't. It builds slowly over years, meal after meal, habit after habit, choice after choice. And blood pressure works the same way. It usually does not rise in one day, it rises slowly over time because of small daily habits. That is why your kitchen is one of the most important places for your heart and for your blood pressure. And unfortunately, some of the most common foods in modern kitchens are some of the worst foods for blood pressure. To understand why certain foods raise blood pressure, you first need to understand what blood pressure actually is. Many people think blood pressure is just a number, but that number is really a reflection of what is happening inside your blood vessels every second of the day. Your heart is constantly pushing blood through a system of vessels, and the tighter, narrower, and stiffer those vessels are, the higher the pressure becomes. When we are young, blood vessels are flexible, they expand easily, blood flows smoothly, pressure stays lower. But as we get older, blood vessels slowly become stiffer. They don't expand as easily. So the same amount of blood creates more pressure inside the system. But aging is only part of the story. Food can make this process much worse. And most people don't realize this. Certain foods make your body hold on to more fluid. And when your body holds more fluid, your total blood volume increases. More blood volume means more pressure inside the vessels. Other foods cause inflammation inside the walls of your blood vessels. Inflammation damages the vessels, and damaged vessels become narrower and stiffer. And some foods cause weight gain, insulin resistance, and metabolic problems, which also push blood pressure higher over time. So, when we talk about blood pressure, we are really talking about 3 main things: how much fluid is in your system, how inflamed your blood vessels are, and how stiff your blood vessels have become. And the foods we are about to talk about affect all 3 of these things. That is why changing what you eat can sometimes lower blood pressure significantly, even before we change medication. Let's start with silent killer number 1. And this one surprises many people: processed meats. I'm talking about sausages, bacon, ham, deli meats, smoked meats, the kind of meat people put in sandwiches, omelets, or eat for breakfast every day. Many people tell me, I don't eat fast food. I cook at home. I eat normal food. But then they eat processed meats almost every day, and they don't realize how much this affects blood pressure. The biggest problem with processed meats is sodium. These foods contain extremely high amounts of salt, and salt makes your body hold on to water. When your body holds more water, your blood volume increases. And when blood volume increases, your blood pressure goes up. So, even if you are taking blood pressure medication, if you are eating a lot of processed meats, your body is constantly holding extra fluid and your pressure stays high. But sodium is not the only problem. Processed meats also contain preservatives that promote inflammation inside the body. And inflammation makes blood vessels stiffer and narrower, which raises blood pressure even more. So now you have two problems at the same time: more fluid in the system and stiffer blood vessels. That combination pushes blood pressure up very effectively. I see this mistake very often. People remove sugar, they try to eat less bread, but they still eat processed meats every day and their blood pressure does not improve. If you have high blood pressure, processed meats should not be an everyday food. They should be an occasional food. A much better option for protein is eggs, fish, chicken, beans, or plain yogurt. Small changes like this done consistently can make a real difference for your blood pressure. Now, the second silent killer is something many people eat because it is easy, cheap, and quick to prepare. Now, the second silent killer is not something you eat directly, but something you cook with almost every day. Vegetable seed oil, soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, canola oil. Many people think these oils are healthy. They see the word vegetable and they think it must be good. But the word vegetable on a bottle does not automatically mean healthy. In fact, many people who try to eat healthy switch from butter to vegetable oils and they think they are making a good decision, but sometimes they are making their blood pressure worse, not better. The problem with these oils is inflammation. These oils are very high in omega 6 fatty acids in small amounts. That is not a problem. But in modern diets, people consume very large amounts of these oils because they are in almost everything. They are in restaurant food, they are in packaged food, they are in chips, they are in crackers, they are in salad dressings, they are in sauces, they're in frozen meals. They're almost everywhere. So even if you don't cook with these oils at home, you are probably still eating them when you eat at restaurants or when you eat packaged food. And over time, these oils can promote inflammation in the body. Inflammation damages the lining of blood vessels. And when blood vessels are damaged, they become stiffer. And stiff blood vessels mean higher blood pressure. This does not happen overnight. This happens slowly over years, meal after meal, just like we talked about earlier. I sometimes tell my patients high blood pressure is not something you get in a week. It is something you build in a kitchen over 20 years. They usually laugh, but it is very often true. If you cook at home, a better option for cooking is olive oil, avocado oil, or simply using less oil overall. Small changes in cooking oils can make a big difference over time. The third traitor lurking in your kitchen is something many people eat not because they love it, but because it is easy, cheap, and takes 5 minutes. Canned soups, instant noodles, frozen ready meals, packaged meals that you just heat and eat. Many people think these are light meals. They think soup is healthy. They think it's just soup. How bad can soup be? But the problem is not the soup. The problem is what is inside the can. Most canned and instant foods contain extremely high amounts of sodium, sometimes an entire day's worth of sodium in just one meal. And sodium makes your body hold on to water. More water in your body means more blood volume. And more blood volume means higher blood pressure. So if you eat canned soups, instant noodles, or packaged meals regularly, your body is constantly holding extra fluid and your blood pressure stays high even if you are taking medication. I see this very often, especially in people who live alone. They don't want to cook for one person. They want something quick, something easy, so they open a can or put something in the microwave, and that becomes dinner almost every day. And they tell me, doctor, I don't eat junk food. I don't eat burgers. I don't eat pizza. I just eat soup. But then we look closer and that soup comes from a can and it has more salt than a bag of potato chips. Sometimes I joke with my patients and I tell them, if the soup can stay on a shelf for 2 years, imagine what it can do inside your arteries. They usually laugh, but then they stop buying canned soup. The problem with packaged food is not only salt, it is also preservatives, additives, and chemicals that help food last longer, but do not help your blood vessels last longer. Your body was not designed to eat food that can sit in a box for a year. Simple food is almost always better for blood pressure than packaged food. If you remember only one thing from this part, remember this: the longer a food can sit on a shelf, the shorter it may make your life. The fourth, silent but so delicious killer is something many people drink every single day, and they don't even think of it as dangerous. Sugary drinks, soda, sweet tea, fruit juice, energy drinks, even some flavored waters. I cannot tell you how many patients tell me the same thing. They say, Doctor, I don't eat much sugar. I don't eat desserts. I don't eat candy. And then I ask them, what do you drink during the day? And they say, oh, just juice or sweet tea or a soda with lunch. And that is often where the problem is. Liquid sugar is one of the fastest ways to raise blood pressure over time. And most people have no idea. Here's why. When you drink sugar, your blood sugar rises very quickly. Your body releases insulin to move that sugar into your cells. But insulin does more than control sugar. Insulin also tells your kidneys to hold on to sodium. And remember what we talked about earlier. More sodium in the body means more water in the bloodstream. More water in the bloodstream means higher pressure in the pipes. So sugar does not just affect diabetes, sugar can also affect blood pressure. And this is especially true for sweet drinks because liquid sugar is absorbed much faster than sugar from solid food. A glass of orange juice can contain as much sugar as a soda. But people think orange juice is healthy, so they drink a large glass every morning for years. And slowly weight goes up, blood sugar goes up, blood pressure goes up, and they don't understand why. I once had a patient whose blood pressure would not improve no matter what medication we tried. He told me he ate very healthy, and he was right, but every day he drank 3 large glasses of sweet tea. When he stopped the sweet tea, he lost weight, his blood sugar improved, and his blood pressure dropped within a few months. Sometimes the biggest problems are not on your plate, they are in your glass. Water, unsweetened tea, coffee without sugar, these are much better choices. Now, the fifth silent killer is something almost everyone eats every day, and most people never suspect it. So, continuing the sweet theme, sugar does not only come from drinks, sometimes it comes from food that people don't even think of as sugar. And this brings us to the fifth silent killer, refined carbohydrates and sweets. For many years, people believed that salt was the only food problem when it came to blood pressure. So people stopped salting their food. They bought low sodium products. They avoided salty snacks. But at the same time, they were eating cookies, cakes, pastries, white bread, cereal, and sweet snacks every day. And their blood pressure kept going up. I had a patient once who was very proud that he never added salt to his food. He told me, Doctor, I don't understand. I don't eat salty food at all. But then he told me he ate dessert every evening. Cookies, cake, ice cream, something sweet every night. He wasn't eating much salt, but he was eating sugar every day. And sugar can raise blood pressure through a different pathway. When you eat refined carbohydrates or sweets, they are digested very quickly. They turn into sugar in the bloodstream very fast. That causes your body to release insulin. And as we talked about earlier, insulin tells your kidneys to hold on to sodium. So here's the irony. You can eat very little salt, but if your insulin levels are high all the time, your body will still hold on to sodium and water, and your blood pressure can still go up. This is why some people follow a low salt diet, but their blood pressure does not improve very much because the problem is not only salt, the problem is insulin. I sometimes explain it to patients like this. Imagine your body is a sponge. Every time insulin is high, that sponge holds more water. more water means more pressure. So if insulin is high all the time, your body is basically walking around like a wet sponge. Not the most scientific explanation, but patients never forget it. Many people start their day with cereal or toast and jam, have a sandwich for lunch, a cookie or pastry in the afternoon, and pasta or white rice for dinner. By the end of the day, their blood sugar has gone up and down multiple times. Their insulin has been high most of the day, and their body has been holding on to sodium and water the entire time. And this happens every single day for years. This is why high blood pressure is usually not caused by one big mistake. It is caused by small daily habits that slowly push your numbers higher year after year. You do not have to eliminate all sugar and all bread forever. But if sweets and refined carbohydrates are a daily habit, your blood pressure will be much harder to control. So now we've talked about the 5 silent killers that slowly push blood pressure higher over time. And at this point, many people start to feel overwhelmed. They think, doctor, this is everything I eat. What am I supposed to do now? Eat air. So let me make this very simple. You do not need to change everything. You just need to change the right things first. I tell my patients to start with this order. First, look at what you drink. Sugary drinks are one of the fastest ways to raise blood pressure and gain weight, and one of the fastest things you can remove. If you change only one thing this month, change what you drink: water, unsweetened tea, coffee without sugar. That one change alone can make a bigger difference than most people expect. Second, look at processed meats: bacon, sausage, deli meat, hot dogs. These should not be everyday foods. They are occasional foods. Third, look at packaged and canned foods. If most of your meals come from a box, a can, or a freezer package, your sodium intake is probably much higher than you think. Cooking simple meals at home, even a few more times per week, can change your blood pressure numbers more than people realize. Fourth, look at sweets and refined carbohydrates: cookies, cakes, pastries, white bread, crackers, sugary cereals. These keep insulin high, and high insulin makes blood pressure harder to control. You do not have to become perfect. You just have to become a little better than you were last month. I often tell patients blood pressure does not improve because of one heroic decision. It improves because of small decisions repeated every day. Drink water instead of soda, cook instead of microwaving, eat real food instead of packaged food, eat sweets occasionally, not daily. These are not extreme changes, but over time they can change your blood pressure, your weight, your energy, and your health. Before we finish, I want to tell you something I tell many of my patients over 60. Most people think high blood pressure is something that happens suddenly, but that is not true. High blood pressure is usually built slowly, year after year, meal after meal, habit after habit. I've seen many patients who felt completely fine until the day something serious happened: a stroke, a heart attack, a fall after getting dizzy, a hospital stay that changed everything. And very often it did not start in a hospital. It started in a kitchen many years earlier with small daily habits that nobody thought were dangerous. I am not telling you this to scare you. I am telling you this because this is one of the few problems you can actually do something about. You cannot change your age. You cannot change your genetics, but you can change what you eat, what you drink, and what you buy at the grocery store. And those small decisions repeated every day are more powerful than most people think. So here's what I want you to do. Don't try to change your entire life tomorrow. Just look at your kitchen, look at what you drink, look at what you eat every day, and remove one thing that you know is not helping you. The next month, remove one more thing. This is how blood pressure improves. This is how weight improves. This is how health improves, slowly, quietly, but very powerfully. If this video was helpful, write in the comments which of the 5 silent killers you think is most common in your kitchen. And if you are over 60 and you want to stay independent, stay active, stay out of hospitals, and understand your health better, subscribe to the channel, because this channel is made for you. Take care of your heart, take care of your brain, and I will see you in the next video.